vibe and send like a cell phone. When you hear the bell tone, nails gold. It's the Roman streets, get the cream from every single challenge that I meet.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Good, good. You're watching Real Talk with Professor Meow, telepathically transmitting thoughts to you. Let's talk crypto. Don't mind me, just tending to my plants. First off, my appreciation goes out to the cryptographers out there. Professor Meow takes for granted the innovations you provided to mankind. Secure socket layer and secure electronic transaction protocols enabled online shopping. I can buy catnip online without having to visit a filthy pet store. All sorts of encryption technologies make web browsing, email, data storage, instant messaging, and online commerce usable. Improved quality of life by having more choice was the direct result of applied cryptography. Come, this way. Anyways, why are cryptographers going after money? You're all familiar with trading, buying food, paying a taxi driver, being compensated by your employer. Money is the language of trade. But money isn't the same everywhere. It has different attributes depending on where you live. What do I mean? Well, the US dollar is currently the world reserve currency. It had a strong start, is relatively stable, but has devalued about 95% over 100 years. The Chinese yuan had a weak start, increased demand exponentially, then devalued by the whim of a central authority. Check out the Venezuelan bolivar. Citizens experienced 1,000,000% inflation, and all value is siphoned off by a military dictatorship. Absolutely tragic. How about gold? The world reserve money which the US dollar replaced. Increases value over time, but hard to use and hard to secure. If you were a free spirit like Professor Meow, not bound to any country, what currency would you choose to participate in? None of you really got to choose your currency. The choice in currency isn't all that great either. The commonality with all government-issued currency is that exclusive groups decide what attributes your currency will have. For better or for worse, these special groups have tremendous influence over who benefits and who is disadvantaged as a result of imperfect policy making. There we go, this plan is fixed. On to the next one, come. Anyways, you humans understand the importance of neutrality in terms of the law. I've seen you protest and revolt over corruption amongst judges, politicians, and other members of society who are supposed to uphold the law. You humans have fought hard for net neutrality, and still do, for good reason. Precisely because humans understood that special interest groups should not have unchecked powers over certain aspects of life. Money is integral for humans to function, yet its mechanisms are poorly understood and obscured by design. There are many moving parts, and I promise Professor Meow will give an overview on this in part 2. All this real talk is tiring me out. I'm gonna wrap things up. Neutrality and money will transform your lives beyond comprehension. If you understand the necessity of separation of church and state to reduce bias in government, separation of money and state is the next step. Money is the measure with which you denominate your life's work. You'd want money which you would have direct representation in. Money which you have confidence that the rules are transparent, fair, predictable, and won't change without your consent. Freedom of choice in money is what the cypherpunks gifted you. You may now choose, voluntarily, to participate in open, transparent, and fair systems of commerce. You might not realize this yet, but this is the greatest humanitarian triumph in our generation. As a human citizen, it is your duty, as well as in your best interest, to ensure that your governments are accountable to its constituents. Humans, choose wisely. Thank you so much for watching. Professor Meow is going to take a nap. Human brethren, please help me by liking, sharing, and subscribing. I need that fresh, dank catnip. Professor Meow be spitting more truth next time. Peace out.
Discreetly, if you greet me, showing love reflect the same like a mirror what your heart is made of. The deal is to do niggas what niggas do to you. If they rob your well-being, got to be criminal too. Original crew, make up yourself every time. Any line in my rhyme is all a part of the crime. The place now and here, we're in how you getting done. You just a fraction of my talent getting burnt by